This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All right, there's Cam the man.
Big O, what's good, man?
7 in a row, baby. 7 in a row. That's what's going on. You know, Cam, CBS just put out a tweet. It says best career QB winning percentage amongst QBs drafted since 2019. Joe Burrow's got a 460 winning percentage, 11-13-1. Justin Herbert's got a 467 percentage at 14-16. Kyler Murray's got a 489 at 21-22-1. Mac Jones has got a 600 winning percentage at 9-6. And Tua Tagovailoa is number one with a 632 winning percentage at 12-7, Cam.
Yep.
And some folks are saying, can you win with Tua? Yeah, you can win with Tua, even with a crappy O-line and no running game.
Yeah, just win, baby. That's what Al Davis used to say, right? Numbers don't lie. I think that you look at what this team's been able to do with Tua in the helm. It's hard to argue with the old adage, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And I see a lot of what they've been able to do, what Tua's been able to do. There's reason for excitement for this Dolphins fan base. 1-7 start. It was rough for a lot of us. I don't like when they lose either. It's not fun talking to those guys in the locker room when things are going. Now there's an energy in that building. There's an energy around that offense, around Tua and Waddle and that connection. And I think a lot of that, you see this young team, this young offense kind of growing in front of our eyes. So I'm excited for them this week against a team that's a playoff team to see how their mettle is. But, you know, I wouldn't count off the Dolphins. I think they still have a good chance to make the playoffs.
You know, I'm glad you mentioned the thing about winning, because I try to bring that up as much as possible over the years. Because look, listen, obviously I'm older than you are and been around a little longer, but you've been around long enough to know that there's a small, very small portion of our media that they do want losing, and they do want controversy, and they do want all hell breaking loose and that kind of crap. But most of us, we like covering teams that are winning because our jobs are the easiest in the world. You know what I mean? People don't realize that losing sucks, dude, because they don't want to talk. I mean, think about it. Think about if somebody stuck a mic in your face at the worst possible moments in your life.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you would be really pissed at that moment to have to answer whatever it is that happened to you in life. Well, losing in public and in front of everybody at times, or when you gave up the game-winning touchdown or the game-winning pick six or whatever it was, man, dude, you don't want to talk to anybody after that.
No.
I don't think people realize that most of us, we like covering winning, dude. It's a lot of fun.
Absolutely. It's a lot more fun. Look, Big O, I'll take you back. And I don't want to bring bad memories, Dolphins fans, but I think it's good perspective for where they are now. 2019, covered this team for ESPN. That was one of the hardest years, particularly that first half of that year, when they had traded everybody, Larry Tunsil, Mika Fitzpatrick. I was walking in the locker room and dudes did not know their teammates' names. They're asking me, who is that guy over there? You know, and it was just every single week they're getting beat 56-10. We're asking them what happened. How do you fix this? They don't know. They can't draft the players. So you look at that, and people always ask me, do you root for the Dolphins? No, I don't root for the Dolphins. I'm not a Dolphins fan, but when the Dolphins are winning like they are now, people are a lot more pleasant. You know, I don't know, maybe Brian Flores is the same. Maybe he hasn't changed, but everybody else in the building, you know, your quarterback, your receivers, everybody's a lot more pleasant to deal with and talk to. So I think that's an element that I'm excited about going into these last two games, Titans and Patriots. I'll be in Nashville on Sunday for that game. I'll probably be back here the following week. So I could just be around a team that's where I live. You know, I haven't spent a lot of time early in the season with them. So I think there's a lot of optimism, whether they make the playoffs or not, about what this second half of the season has meant for the direction of this team.
Any truth you're talking to Elon Musk to build a underground tunnel direct from South Florida to Tennessee for you? I don't know. I was told that. I don't know. I'm not sure.
I'm definitely working on it. 30
Okay.
minutes or less. I need to find a way because that's, I probably have made more Miami to Nashville trips than anybody this year. I can't imagine.
When you set that bullet train up, please invite yours truly, because I'd like to go. I'd like to go to Nashville and enjoy some music and some barbecue.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
By the way, so I was talking about this with Dolphin fans, because the obvious is, oh, dude, you got to bring Agba back. He got 2 more sacks yesterday. His effort has been just magical all year. He's proven that last year wasn't a fluke. Oh, man, I want Gesicki back. There are some people maybe that don't, but most of us really like what Gesicki did. Those are the obvious guys. But I want to remind Dolphin fans that yesterday, Matt Collins is on a 1-year, $1.127 million deal, which, by the way, steal, bargain. He made 2 monster plays yesterday. The 40-yarder, which he bodied the defender beautifully, slowed up a little bit to get a little separation, all that. It was gorgeous. And then Nick Needham scored the game-winning points, by the way, because 7 points is all you needed to win that game yesterday.
Right.
So he won, and he's on an $850,000 deal. Okay. So Chris Grier for $1.957 million has Needham and Matt Collins. Those are 2 guys you have to bring back, bro. Those are glue type players, man.
And that's really good perspective there, because we get on Chris Grier a lot about the offensive line, and trust me, he deserves a lot of the blame for some of the draft picks that haven't worked out on the offensive line. But you got to give him credit.
By the way, I'm not quick on. I believe if you had a good O-line coach, we'd find out that 2 or 3 of those guys are good. But that's just me.
Gotcha. I don't know if I'm fully there with you, Big O. I think some of these guys just can't play. But how
do you hit on everything else except the O-line, dude?
Sometimes there's teams that just can't get a position. Sometimes I've seen it. Baltimore's drafted great for so many years. They cannot draft receivers. They can't draft receivers to save their life. They've tried so many times. Maybe they got something with Hollywood Brown, but he's been inconsistent. But so sometimes teams just have a position. I think that Robert Hunt's a guy who's probably going to be a player, but the rest of the guys, Austin Jackson had a really rough game last night. Liam Eichenberg.
But we got the Bong Mask. The Bong Mask was a good pick. He just
but they would trade him away.
But you had to trade him, bro. You had to, all those picks. You have to trade them. You have to. I get it.
I get it. They didn't do much with those picks, but the idea of the trade was very good. So, but my whole point is you hit on those few selections, and that really makes your team. Nick Needham, this is a guy who becomes your slot corner, undrafted free agent. A guy nobody wanted on the street, you turned him into a guy who's probably worth $8 to $10 million a year. Like you said, Matt Collins, a guy who was discarded by Philly. They just use him as a special teams guy. I still have no idea why he doesn't play more offense. I think that he needs more time on the field playing offense. I mean, I know you've got a guy like Devontae Parker who's played a lot for you, but last night he had 0 catches, 0 targets. You can't tell me Matt Collins might not have had better use of those snap times. Right?
And Matt Collins is available for you every down, every game, always there for you, always making plays. Yep. You're on my bandwagon now, because for the last 2 months, I've been screaming at the top of my lungs, why aren't you playing Matt Collins? Because in my eyes, he's my number 2 wide receiver. I get it that talent-wise, Parker should be the guy, but I want the guy I can line up every week. I'd line up Matt Collins every week opposite of Jaylen Waddle every damn week.
Right. Tough guy, can be over the middle. And I love his energy. Like, I know it doesn't impact on the field, but just seeing the guy with the afro flowing, talking on the sideline. I don't know if you saw him pregame. He's got a Santa hat on. He's and for my media purpose, like, I know fans, you really don't care about us, what matters to us, but I think he's probably my favorite. If I still was voting for the good guy award, he would be the guy, because he's always, when they were losing, when they're winning, always he has some different perspectives, some fun in it, some energy. He doesn't just take the cliche answers, the easy way out. So I'm a Matt Collins guy. I think that that was a great find off the waiver wire. by Chris Grier, and it's a big part of why this team has a chance going down these last 2 games.
Yeah, no, Zach Seiler's another one of those kind of guys that they got
Yep,
off of somebody else.
Yep, exactly.
They've been able to do that. Eric Rowe's been another guy that they've been able to, get something out of him before the knee injury. I know he's back on the team, but he's doing nothing this year. But Vince Beagle was that guy too when they made the trade for the Latin Spicoli. What's his name? Damn it. You know who Spicoli is, right? From Fast Times at Richmond High?
No, man, that's before my time.
Oh God, really?
God.
You need to watch Fast Times at Richmond High, man.
All right.
You never watched that?
No, I've never seen it before in my life.
Oh my God, you need to watch that. That's a movie that it ages beautifully.
All right, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna try to watch it sometime. Probably not until
you and your wife will laugh your asses off in that movie. And the amount of famous actors that are in that movie, like babies, they're all babies. And you're going to go, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. You're going to go, wow, this whole thing's full of, you got to watch Fast Times at Richmond High. But anyway, we had a linebacker, Kiko Alonso.
Yeah, they traded Kiko for Vince Beagle. Yeah,
right. And Kiko is the Latin Spicoli.
Gotcha.
You don't get that now. But when you watch the movie, I'm not going to explain anything. I want you to watch the movie, and when you watch Jeff Spicoli, you're going to go, "Yeah, dude, that is the Latin Kiko Alonso." Yes.
All right, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it.
Did you ever get to deal with Kiko? Did you get to deal with Kiko?
Yeah. I spent, I think, a year or 2 with Kiko down here.
Okay, all right, really nice guy.
Yeah,
but his way of being, you'll see what I'm saying.
Yeah, see ball, get ball. That's Kiko. See ball, get ball.
Right. You should see Spicoli, and you'll see what I'm talking about. All right. So, overall, do you think the view has changed for people on Chris Grier because of everything that's developed?
So I think the evaluation for Chris Grier is always going to be about the quarterback. It's going to always be about the quarterback. So whether he hits on a guy like Nick Needham or Zach Seiler or Mac Hollins, or whether he misses on the offensive lineman like he has, it's going to be about the quarterback. So it's going to end up being Tua is on Chris Grier's resume. If Tua ends up working out here, Chris Grier is going to be good. If it doesn't, he won't be. It sucks that it's boiled down to one position. There's so much more, but you know how it is. It's a quarterback.
No, you're right.
And whether the position at quarterback works or not is on the GM entirely. I think that there's a change in perception somewhat about Tua, but there's still detractors out there that believe he's not sexy enough to be the guy you win with. So I think there's still, in a national spectrum, the national media, there's still a jury out on Chris Grier, and there's still a jury out on Tua.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is I'm old enough to remember they were killing Drew Brees for years. And then Drew Brees turned into a Hall of Famer, and a lot of people shut the hell up. And I just kind of feel that, once if they figure out the offensive line and the running game, then I think you're going to see a completely different Tua when it's all said and done.
And by the way, Drew Brees is my high-end comp for Tua. If he hits his ceiling, he does everything. That's the type of quarterback that you have.
I agree. Jaylen Waddle's 96 receptions. He's 5 away from Anquan Bolden's record. He probably will catch that record next week against Tennessee. I mean, the pace he's on, right? He catches easily 7-8 balls in every game. He caught 10 yesterday. So you figure that he's going to break this record over the next 2 weeks here overall. Do we realize how awesome this kid is? I know we had a vision of 50-yard bombs and all that kind of stuff, and I know it's going to happen eventually, but I don't think people understand the discipline, the adjustment this kid's had to make, and the fact that they rely on him so much, and that he comes through at this baby of an age.
Yeah,
I think it's awesome, dude.
So Big O, I want to start this by saying that I think you remember from the draft process, I was a Devontae Smith guy. I still am a Devontae Smith guy.
And he's terrific.
I loved him. I thought that he was the better receiver, and he should have been the pick. And I don't know if I changed my mind, but Jaylen Waddle has far exceeded what even I thought he could do at this stage of his career. I thought that he would be the playmaker that we've seen in spurts, but I didn't know if he would be as consistent as a receiver. Like you said, all those receptions, that's your go-to receiver, your number one receiver, not just a speed threat, not just someone who could take the top off defenses. I think in Alabama, he was a 40 to 50 catch receiver. Like you said, he's almost at 100 catches already. So the fact that he's already evolved to this, and we haven't even seen his fullest form, tells me this guy's going to be an all-pro. They drafted at least two potential all-pros in my book. Maybe Jalen Phillips joined them, but with Javon Holland and Jaylen Waddle, they've got two guys who I think are going to be top 5, top 10 in their position for many, many years to come. And I know we rail on the offensive coordinator a lot. We've done that a lot through the years. But I think I want to give George Godsey some credit because they have, with the limitations with their offensive line, they have done a lot to find ways to get Waddle the ball. Like that play they had on the goal line where they scored the touchdown last night.
Yeah, Lindsey and Tua go in one direction, and then they gave it to
How many times have we seen in the past they just give it 3rd and 1 right up the gut? Just say, hey, we try to get 1 yard, and we've seen it not work. So why not put it in your best offensive playmaker's hands? It seems so simple, but yet sometimes it's so hard. So I think you got to give him credit with figuring out, hey, let's just use Waddle. Although we'd love to throw these 50-yard bombs to him, we can't protect to save our lives to do it. So that doesn't mean we can't use Waddle. Let's use them. And they have. And I think that without Will Fuller, with Devontae Parker been hurt a lot, Jaylen Waddle's put really 3 receiver jobs on his shoulders, and he's carried them like boulders. So I've been impressed. And I know we've got a lot of Jamar Chase love, a lot of
that was my guy. That was my guy, Jamar Chase. That was my guy.
To me, and hopefully I don't sound like a homer here, Jaylen Waddle's my offensive rookie of the year. To me, he's been the best rookie I've seen this year. And he hasn't got any love in the national media for that job because Jamar Chase had such a great start to the year. Mac Jones was winning with the Patriots. But if Waddle continues the path he has and the Dolphins end up making the playoffs, I think Jaylen Waddle's your offensive rookie of the year.
But he doesn't get it because it's not sexy. It's kind of like a guy yesterday on Twitter asked me, well, how come they don't, put the Dolphins more on national television? I said, well, the offense is not sexy.
Yeah.
All the rules are geared for the offense. Mm-hmm. And so they want you to light it up. And I told them when we had Marino, they were on TV all the freaking time.
Right.
Why? Even back then, because it was Marino throwing to Mark Clayton and Mark Duper and lighting the whole damn place up.
Yeah,
people want to watch that. So until the Miami offense gets sexy, we're not going to get that kind of love. And Waddle, I think, will end up falling short because you've got to watch what they do every week to really appreciate what Waddle's doing, because every time it's not just the catches, it's the 3rd down catches that he's making
situations
all the damn time. And he's burning some of the best corners in the league that they're moving. I was surprised. I would imagine that Lattimore's not a good slot corner. That's why they didn't put him in there. And that's why they
stay outside. They usually like to keep Lattimore outside.
Yeah, like Madison. Sam Madison was an excellent corner, but he wasn't a slot guy.
Right.
And so Surtain was the guy that had the hips that could play the outside and play the slot. You know what I mean? Because some people don't realize that just because you play corner means, oh no, you play all the corners. No, dude.
No.
Not everybody can play the slot.
Slot corner is hard to play, and that's an extremely important position. I used to cover the Broncos for a while, and Chris Harris, who's still playing in the league for the Chargers now, was one of the best guys who could play inside and outside. And that's what made him so versatile, because you can have really good outside corners, but slot corners, like as you see teams become really creative with their offense, they put their best playmakers in the slot. And can you go in there when you're essentially in an island? The guy can go left, the guy can go right, the guy can go up the middle. There's no sideline to be.
No, your hips have to be elite.
Exactly.
And on the outside, your hips don't have to be elite, because a lot of times you're using the boundary as your other defender. So you can
Exactly.
kind of cheat when you're on the outside. In the slot, there's no cheating. That's why a lot of people even pick on Iggy, but it's not Iggy's fault, just like the other guys. He's an outside guy, like a lot of guys are outside guys. Very few guys have the skill set to play the slot and go outside at the same time.
Indeed. You're right on it, Big O.
Yeah, so it's just one of those things that's kind of weird. But again, Waddle, and here's the other thing that I like about Waddle, and this is the weirdest part about Waddle. And I don't know, maybe it happens 5 years from now or 10 years from now. I don't think so, because it doesn't seem like it's in his DNA. Dude, they got a receiver that's not a diva.
Yeah. I knew you were going there. He definitely does not have diva. Like, he has flavor. He's a Houston dude. And shout out to the Cougs. We're about to play our bowl game in a few minutes here. I'm sure you see the plugs over here in the backdrop. But he's a Houston dude, and you see the Houston flavor, but he does not have an ego. He's one of them. He's selfless. He's always praising other folks. And it's rare to see that. You know, and I love me a diva receiver. Don't get me wrong. I love Chad Johnson. I love T.O. when they're in their prime. If you can ball, if you can be elite, then I will take the diva. As long as it's not a team cancer diva, as long as it's just like a, hey, I want the spotlight because I'm good diva, I can do it. But to have that rarity, and I'm sure Brian Flores loves it because, you know, that's the guy who does not like divas. Whether you're good or not, he does not like divas. And to be able to have Jaylen Waddle in that realm, I think is a big reason why they loved him at that pick. Speed, go-to receiver, and doesn't have an ego, all in one is a rarity. Now, nobody recruits top, you know, the greatest characters of all time in every college team. You're going to have a couple of knuckleheads and all that. But I will say this, Saban has a tendency of getting a lot of really good kids in there that they're not just great athletes. They're like good human beings. Again, you're going to have a couple of, you know, the Rolando McClains and all that kind of stuff. It's going to happen, bro, because it's football. There are just some of these dudes that are so talented that they've got to take the chances on them. But if you really look overall at the Alabama kids that Saban gets, most of them are really good human beings, actually. Yeah, it's indeed. Like character, he really goes after character because he doesn't have a ton of knuckleheads. Right. Everybody has a few, dude. Everybody. Yeah. Nick, I think because you have to be such an elite athlete to play at Bama, they only recruit 4 and 5 stars. They can be selective. So if you got 2 5-star kids and one's a good kid, one's a bad kid, well, I'm just gonna take the good kid. Right. Everybody wants to come to Alabama. So I think that's a luxury that Saban has, where a lot of these colleges, if you get a 5-star that says he wants to come there, you deal with the arrest, you deal with the other stuff because you need that talent. So don't underestimate the relationship that the Dolphins and their front office, their staff has with Alabama. We joke about it a lot in the draft process about how many Alabama guys I do, but it's because you trust the guys you're talking to. All coaches are going to sell you. College coaches are going to sell you on their guys. Oh, this guy's great. He goes to class. He does this. A lot of them are lying to get their guys drafted higher. If you trust a coach like the Dolphins trust Alabama, you can believe that this guy is going to be right for your program. And plus, as you keep taking them, the track record's there. Yep. Raekwon Davis to Jaylen now. So you start to look at it and it's like, well, it's paying off for us. Right. They're good people, not just good players. And that's just those are enormous building blocks overall. All right, man. Any injury news or anything you found out about the game last night that we didn't know about? No, they actually came out pretty clean. You know, Flores is going to talk, I think, in a couple hours. So, but I don't think there's anything that's going to be alarming for folks to worry about. I did think it was interesting to see how the backfield rotation came about. There was thought initially going into the game that Myles Gaskin was going to have a bigger role, and instead it was a lot of Duke Johnson and Phillip Lindsay. So I think as you're going forward, you're seeing the new guys, Duke Johnson and Phillip Lindsay, have a bigger part of that overall backfield, and Myles Gaskin. You're also facing punishing defenses. Exactly. And I think that you need more power in these kind of situations, and Gaskin doesn't bring that. And this week, the Titans, another powerful defense. The following week, oh my God. It's like it gets, because New Orleans wasn't as tough because they weren't healthy.
But if they were healthy, it would have been a bitch of a defense last night. And then you get Tennessee, and then freaking New England has got one hell of a defense. They do. And I think that's what Flo sees, that he goes, I'm going to need a little more muscle in there. Look, Duke didn't do that well, but that 110-yard run was huge, was big. The bar went crazy last night where we were at. So on that one, everybody was yelling Duke and all that in the bar. It was fun. That was cool.
Absolutely, man.
All right, man. Good stuff as always. I appreciate you taking some time, Cam. Thank you.
All right, Big O.
You got it. There you go. Cameron Wolfe, baby, with our Fort Lauderdale Police Department, Miami Dolphins, and NFL report.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.